So,
Thank
hey,
you, Lorena.
it goes both ways is my point. And
Yeah.
it was nice to see her cheering on Travis Kelce. But I did feel a tad bit, more of a Chad, not a tad. More of a Chad bit of pressure, unnecessary pressure on Mahomes. Like I and the team because she was there. There was a part of me, it's like, Kelce's got to get a touchdown. He's got to get a touchdown. So if I'm thinking that, you're thinking that, the broadcasters are thinking that, the team's thinking that, Mahomes is now thinking that too. And he doesn't need any distraction. So I do see from the football perspective, like it is a bit distracting, but it's still nice and fun to see. It's a fun story, Rich. I'm with you.
I don't want to jump ahead, but even after the game, Aaron Andrews had to even talk to Patrick Mahomes about it.
Do you realize how much pressure there was on you today from the Swifties to get Travis Kelce a touchdown with Taylor in the house today?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard she was in the house.
Did you feel it? Did you feel the pressure, Patrick?
I felt a little bit of pressure, and so I knew I had to get it to Trav. And of course, it's on a route that Travis he does his own thing and just makes up a route, and I throw it to him. So I think he wanted to get in the end zone just as much as all the Swifties wanted him to.
Two takeaways. Your Mahomes is great.
Well,
because now I'm hearing him.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like, Covino was at the game?
I felt a little bit of pressure, and it's to be honest, I feel enough pressure already, so I really didn't need that. But it's all good. New love, fresh love.
But even Mahomes gave a little wave up to the suite. All the sideline dudes, trainers, personnel. Did you see that clip that was posted? I think it might have been on Fox Sports or ESPN where they're bleeping him out, but they're all like, holy, it's Taylor Swift. Like, everyone there was sort of fascinated by it.
Hey,
so my
not
message.
to mention that we called it here on the show, you in particular, Rich. We did a schedule breakdown of when it was going to happen. We said it has to be against the worst team. Danny G said, you mean this weekend against the Bears?
And
I thought that was too soon, but absolutely right.
You know what bothered me about that? We called it, listen, it was not a Nostradamus prediction. For me to say, Taylor Swift's going to show up at a game.
Well, we all agreed that it did matter what game she went to because if they had a bad game or if they lost or Kelce played bad, it would have been her fault and that would have been the story, and they want to avoid a public relations nightmare. So it did matter.
We made the point. It wasn't a big stretch to say she'll show up at a game. We were pinpointing when it made sense based on how she goes back out on tour in November. There was a limited number of games, and we broke it down like she can't go when they play the Chargers or Eagles because if they lose to a relatively competitive team that could beat them, then it's the curse of Taylor Swift, and she's a distraction.
God forbid Mahomes throws like an unnecessary pass to Kelce. He felt pressure to throw it to Kelce because Taylor was there.
So my daughter Sarah is obviously a gigantic Taylor Swift fan. She's 18 years old, and she heard that clip, and she goes, Dad, listen to this guy. I go, okay. I didn't know what she was talking about. She goes, and it was the Patrick that cut right there. She goes, he sounds like a frog. I go, okay. Because she's never heard him before. She's all just Taylor Swift. So when she heard this guy, I go, yeah, he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. She goes, wow, and he talks like that? I go, yes.
Dad, is that a super fan of Taylor? No, honey, that's Patrick Mahomes. But no, Danny, we pinpointed the game. So what bothered me, I saw some feedback of like, yeah, guys, like really crazy prediction. We were saying we decided what game it would be. Like, who's the guy on the weekend? VJ
Vernon Husky.
Big Vanilla
with his beard and his Burberry scarf on Instagram.
You're still mad because he beat you out one last man standing?
Yeah, and then here he is being like, yo, guys, I predicted that too. And it's like, no, you didn't. You just said like everyone else, like she'll probably show up. And I don't need to pat ourselves on the back.
We schedule watch.
We were trying to figure out what made the most sense, and you know what? It was cool to see her there.
It was Taylor Swift curse watch.
Yeah, you had a name for it.
Yeah, we were like, we got to figure out which game she goes to because the wrong game could be a bad move.
Trust me, a lot of our predictions, like everyone in sports talk radio, do not come true. So this was one where I did feel like, oh, cool, we did sort of predict it. A lot of people hit me up, Danny, the minute they saw it. They're like, yo, you guys were right. Now, I thought it was cool how Taylor Swift was with Kelce's mom. And I always love those interactions. I always tried to have that relationship with girls I dated there. The relationship with her mom, you were probably good with moms too, no?
Always.
Steven's so nice.
I think the moms wanted me.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Where else would she have sat, though? Like,
It was Kelce's suite, yeah.
yeah, like that's where she'd end up. But I was kind of thinking about that. Like, how serious does that make the relationship that she was with the mom? Have we even actually gotten official confirmation that they are together?
Lorena, that is so interesting you'd bring that up because I remember back in the day when I was single and, how do I say this kindly, just sort of sleeping around.
A player.
Now, there was a girl that I probably hung out with like twice. And she's like, my parents are visiting from out of town. And she's like, my dad's a Sirius XM subscriber. And that's what we were working there. She's like, can you show my dad the studio? And Covino's like, yo, dude, it's serious. You met her parents. I'm like, no, it's not.
I mean, man, it's official now.
Yeah,
dude.
so I was thinking the same. Like, if they're casually, like, dipping their toe in the water and now all of a sudden Kelce's mom, it's not like Travis was like, Mom, I'm dating this girl, Jessica. You might like her. It's Taylor Swift. I bet you his mom was probably a little nervous going in there too. Like, I have to sit with Taylor Swift.
You know what
She's
I
a
noticed?
human. We met her at the Super Bowl. Travis, the Kelces were at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we had him on the show. Look, not to over speculate and nerd up this conversation, but there was a lot of takeaways from this moment, things that made us go,
Things that make you go,
When it comes to this story in itself, this whole story is one huge story in itself. I did notice, La Reina, that it seemed way too soon, but again, what are the options, right? For her to be there with his mom, but then again, we don't know how long they've been dating. We don't know anything, but it appeared to be, wow, that's very soon. And then when Kelce scored the touchdown, I noticed that Taylor Swift was glued on the moment. And I don't know if she has the wherewithal to know, like, hey, if he scores a touchdown, the cameras are going to be on me.
I mean, she knows
so
it.
I better be ready for this moment, and I better own the moment. Because there's a backstory that she requested tinted windows. So there's a backstory that she may have thought that she was behind tinted windows. We don't know. I don't know.
Like, how
And-
much of a tint? Like your Jersey Guido tints from the 90s? Or like
Yeah.
a real
Like
a real
my,
tint?
Smoke 20s
Like
from
Danny
the-
G's car in the 90s with the big tint? Like, how much
from my
tint?
smoke 20s,
I mean,
man?
my car right now.
Yeah.
So
There's speculation that there's one moment where she's laughing with the mom. It may be when she realized, oh, we're not behind tinted glass. It's like, no, everybody could see you. But I did notice that when Travis Kelce scored the touchdown, Taylor Swift was like, ooh. And the mom was sort of like picking her nose, like not even really paying attention.
they were in the moment.
So I did notice that. But the way she celebrated Travis Kelce, that new love, that, like I said, honeymoon phase, that reminds you of how relationships should be.
Yeah.
You should be with your biggest cheerleader, vice versa. Nice to see, even though there's a lot of hate. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
I'm going to talk about the hate right now. And my thoughts about the whole Taylor Kelce thing is that, first of all, the mom. Back to the mom for one last second. Super sweet. Again, Kelce's mom.
Got it going on.
There is a sense of, like, usually when you meet the parents, the pressure's on the kid meeting the parents. Imagine you. Like, Danny G, think of your mom. I'll think of mine. Everyone think of their mom.
Hortensia.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift would not approve of my mom.
Like, imagine if your mom, like, I think about when I brought, like, regular girls home.
Yeah.
Richie! Oh, Jesus, Mom. Like, imagine you're like, Mom, you're going to be sitting with Taylor Swift. This is not a nobody. And I get, it's not that she should be nervous. She's a grown woman, Kelce's mom. But still, yeah, Mom, yeah, you're going to be joined in our suite today. Oh, by who, sweetheart?
She's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, she's like just made $4 billion on a world tour, maybe the most popular person on earth right now.
That is the difference, right?
It's a little weird, right?
How many people at Arrowhead about? Around?
50, 70,000?
So
I mean, there's a lot of people. I don't know.
50 to 70,000
Let me look at the
are there to
capacity.
watch two teams compete. But 50 to 70,000 all came out to see one person, Taylor Swift, perform there. That's the difference in star power.
76,416.
Wow. Yeah. 76,000 came out just to see her by herself when she was there. So she goes there, supports Kelce. It's a big story, guys. As you've seen, social media won't let it be.
So we could say, as far as Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio, our thoughts, the end. But
I have two more thoughts.
Here's my thought, though, on the response. The people that are hating on this with stuff like, who cares about Taylor Swift?
This might inspire some phone calls. So, guys and gals, 877-99 on Fox and at Covino and Rich if you agree or disagree on social media.
who cares about Taylor Swift? Why are they showing her? Who cares? People that are hating, they're cut from the same cloth as the people that were excited to see Coach Prime.
Is it like polyester?
It's like a weird, like an itchy wool. It's a bad cloth.
Okay.
Cut from the same cloth as the people that were rooting for Coach Prime to finally lose. Like, they take a joy in, like, I don't know, like hating the mainstream story. Like, who cares about Taylor Swift? Coach Prime lost. Good. Those people all need a hug. If you need to talk to someone, one of our sponsors is BetterHelp.
Are you volunteering?
It's like, I'll talk to you. If you want to talk to me, at Rich Davis, at COVINO Rich. If you need a hug that bad, that Taylor Swift annoys you, and you're so excited Coach Prime lost, I think life may be just beating you down a little bit.
All right, I want you to be real, though, for 1 minute. The Kelce Swift story.
It's overblown.
It's overblown.
I get it.
All right. So you could see how someone gets a little eye-rolly after a while, right? But to hate on it, I'm with you, Rich. It's like I've always said.
What have you always said?
No good story goes unpunished. I've always said that.
What does that mean?
I don't know. What is the real saying? No good deed? No good deed
yeah.
goes unpunished. No good story comes without hate, right? There's always going to be people that hate on that story for whatever reason. It brings them joy to be the contrarian, to hate on it. And I try not to be that person. But there's a lot of people that did want to see Coach Prime lose. Oh, man, it's over now. Well, not really. I'm still excited about it. They weren't expected to win that game. Yeah, they took a beating. They lost 42-6. I get it. But you're relishing and reveling in the failure of Coach Prime instead of saying, hey, Oregon, that's a great team. And when it comes to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, you're real angry about it. And there's no real reason to be angry. All right, it's overblown. That's fine. That's normal observation.
Like,
but
to
to
me,
be mad about it and hating on it and rooting against it, that's just odd behavior.
Yeah. For instance,
no good story goes unpunished. Like I've always said.
Eric hit us up today
Before
the show. And he was quick to say, I'm not 14. Can you guys please not talk about Taylor Swift today? It's stupid. No one cares. And I'm like, first of all, you don't need to be 14. Like, look at the crowd. It's like, everyone from teenagers, 20, 30-year-old women, 40. Taylor Swift does not only appeal to 14-year-olds. She's not a K-pop band. She's not like,
They're both 33.
Yeah, come on.
They're both 33 years old, and we've known her story of love songs and the people she's dated. And we follow Travis Kelce's love life, too. I mean, he had a show about it, and he's one of the most popular players in the NFL. He had a TV show, Chasing Kelce. We talked to him about it. We interviewed him back in the day. We're like, who is this stud? He's going to end up with somebody. That somebody might be Taylor Swift. Even grumps and Grinches and grouches like Belichick is rooting for this to work. Did you see his quote? He said, Travis Kelce, this is from Coach Bill Belichick. Travis Kelce has had a lot of big catches in his career. This would be the biggest. It's a nice thing to say. As we remember, he was a big fan. He saw her live, though, and he was a big fan. But, again, it's a nice story. No need to hate on it.
Don't be a grump is what I'm saying. Well, all I'm saying is don't be a grump. What
I did notice, though, two things. How different they are, right? She's like a pop princess, and he's got a different side to him, like a different sort of swag about him. And you can see that in the outfit he chose after the game. Now, look, guys, I'm not trying to be overly critical, but that is the weakest outfit.
To you?
Yeah, to me. Exactly, to me. I don't think
he's got some style.
You think that Taylor Swift vibes with that? I don't think so.
He also has a mustache.
I mean, yeah, I know.
He's way cooler than you.
I'm not saying he's not cool, man. Do you want to date him, you big nerd? I'm saying that I don't think it vibes with Taylor Swift. Did I offend your boyfriend?